Hello everyone. Konrad from CGLM.EU welcoming you warmly. Today we have a very interesting example of a hoist. Interesting because of its size. It's a huge hoist. A real monster, as you can see. It's a Movecat Pluslite 1000-4/SB6.1/15P hoist. It's a hoist that can lift only 1000 kilograms for its size at a speed of 4 meters per minute. This hoist weighs 80 kilograms without the chain. It's installed with a 9x27 chain which weighs around 2 kilograms and 10 decagrams per meter. This hoist is from 2017 and this date explains why it's so large. It was produced at a time when there was a different European standard for hoists. Several years ago it changed, making the hoists you now buy much smaller. To comply with the standard in 2017, this hoist needed to be this big to lift 1000 kilograms. So we have a huge drawback here in the form of its massive weight. An 80 kilograms hoist, a 2 kilograms per meter chain, a 24 meter chain equals 48 kilograms, making the hoist ready to work weigh around 128 kilograms. Plus, of course, a sizable transport case, so about 160 kilograms together. The bag, of course, is also huge. Everything here is just massive. The chain stop at the end is also massive. The rubber buffer too. Everything is just huge here. The guide in this hoist is barely smaller than a new hoist with a capacity of 250 kilograms. Really huge. As you can see, even the handle is of substantial size, not some small junk. Anyone who has met me knows that my hand is not small, and here, as you can see, the handle is simply gigantic. Before we look inside, as usual, from the outside. Solid, huge handles, it will be difficult to break them. Guides, traditionally from German manufacturers, an external plastic guide, another internal plastic guide, and a metal chain tensioner underneath. Traditionally, I repeat, guides are not for straightening chains. We straighten the chain ourselves when rewinding. This way, we avoid costly repairs, because we all know that parts are expensive, and such massive parts will, of course, be even more expensive. That's how it looks from this side. Of course, the bag holder is also of considerable size. The bag itself is huge too. Everything is too big for the 21st century. Now let's look underneath. Turning it over is also not easy. Underneath, traditionally, a very common solution, no swivel hook, just a hole for mounting shackles. Not much happens underneath, so let's take a look inside. Traditionally, on this side, we only have electrical connections. The gearbox is located under this part of the housing, and as usual, no one except the manufacturer is allowed to open this part of the hoist. The manufacturer does not sell parts for gearbox, not even to authorized service technicians. So, if anything happens to the gearbox, even if it's just a seal leak, unfortunately, we're forced to send such a hoist back to the manufacturer. What do we have here? As usual, not much. Two huge brakes, two rectifiers, a contactor. Very few elements, so few potential failure points, which means a huge plus. Compared to newer products, here we have a brake that is still serviced, meaning if something wears out, you can buy individual parts. In newer products, if something wears out, you have to replace the entire brake. Now let's take a look at the hook. The hook, as you can see, is also gigantic, equipped with a plastic buffer. The construction of the hook itself is very simple. The hook is swivel, rotates on bearings, so here's another plus. The connection of the hook to the chain is also very strong. Here we have, of course, a sizable second buffer, which normally is near to the hook, but since it's heavy, it just slid down. It is huge, a very big hoist, a big problem for those who have already bought them. In fact, I don't really know what else to say about it because it really is a very good product with a huge overweight. That's how it all looks. More materials will be coming soon. If you have any questions about hoists or if you're looking for a technician, feel free to reach out. I'll be happy to advise, chat, and of course, repair if needed. Please remember to subscribe, share, and give thumbs up on my channels on YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram. Warm regards to everyone. Goodbye. English version was created using Descript and ChatGPT.